Welcome back to Rad JBI. I'm JB. In this video, we're going to go over what we did, why we did it, and what this rider should expect with his new JBI spec suspension for his 2025 Sherco SEF 300. All right, so to the left of me, I have the KYB suspension that comes stock on the 2025 Sherco SEF 300. Now that is a 4-stroke motor with a 300cc displacement. Sherco has some really cool different engine sizes for their different off-road models that they offer. Now it comes stock with KYB suspension, and we've done a few upgrades to the suspension to the left of me, and we're going to go over what we did starting with the forks. Now what we can visually see is that we have new upper tubes. These are Kashima coated KYB tubes directly from KYB, and then this is a DLC coated lower tube as well directly from KYB. Now these are sourced and provided by Sherco US of James Jordan. That is the official Sherco distributor for the United States. And he has a stock of these items, but I think he has limited inventory. So if you want some of these for your Sherco, give him a call directly and he'll be able to provide that. So that's the aesthetics that were done to this. But what really matters is what we did on the inside to build this to what we call the JBI spec. Now this is set up to what we call our flowy single track spec, but it is specific to the rider and their area. For our flowy single track spec, the first thing we did was we increased the spring rate by 1 spring rate. These forks come stock with a 4.2 Newton fork spring. Now that's a bit light for a 300cc 4-stroke bike. With a spring rate that light, you need to be a rider of less than 140 pounds in order for that to be appropriate. So we went up to a 4.4 Newton spring rate. To complement that, we did what's called our JBI spec valving. Now our valving focused on improving the fork in 3 key areas. We're going to make it more comfortable and plusher to ride over the small, medium bumps such as rocks and roots and bumps that you're going to find out on the trail. We're also going to improve the holdup of the suspension as well. So when riding fast and aggressive, the bike is going to stay up in its stance and not ride too low. And then thirdly, we improve the bottoming resistance of the suspension. So that means it is harder to bottom out during those high impacts. But when it does bottom out, it's going to have a better feel. Now, some of the key items of our JBI spec build are the parts to the left of me. Key item that I like the most is our JBI Titanium Pro Perch. This is how we get better bottoming resistance out of the fork. What it does is when the fork compresses down this way, this is going to engage the oil that's in the outer chamber of the fork. Now, as you can see, compared to the stock spring perch, this plastic item here, ours is much more restrictive where the oil travels through the inside and it comes through these ports, or I call them vents. What's unique about ours, and only ours, is that our perch has the ability to flex open depending on the amount of pressure that is applied to the inside of it. Now this is important because if it did not have that ability, there'd be times that when the perch engages the oil, it slows the fork down too quickly. So that can be a harsh feeling for the rider at their hands. So this has the ability to ensure that it's never too restrictive, but it's always just restrictive enough to give you the best bottom resistance available, but still being I don't want to say comfortable, but a pleasant feeling for the rider when that bottoming event happens. To oversimplify, essentially when the fork does bottom out, instead of it being a metal to metal feel, it's going to be more of a hydraulic feel. To complement our Pro Perch, we utilize also our JBI volume spacer. This takes up volume inside of the fork. There are times that we want to add oil to the fork, and there are other times we do not want to add oil to the fork. We have a neat video that we did in the past where we built up a fork with a clear fork tube, and we show you what happens when you add oil to the fork and how that affects the fork positively and possibly negatively as well. So that's one of the key reasons why we came out with our volume spacer, is for those scenarios where we don't want to add any more oil to the fork, but we still want to alter the progressiveness of the fork, meaning as the fork compresses down, we want to alter how it builds compression resistance. We want to make it more progressive, but in a smooth way. Now, another item part of all our builds is going to be our JBI titanium hardware that goes on the inside. That's going to be our JBI titanium subvalve and also our JBI titanium rebound post as well. Now, these aren't any different than stock in terms of the amount of oil that they flow. But the reason that we change them out is when you work on this KYB suspension, in order to modify the valving on the inside, on the stock components, the subvalve, the threads are called, on the threads, they are peened over. So meaning The threads have been purposely mushroomed over the top of the nut from the factory, so that way the nut can't come unthreaded while you're riding. So in order to remove those threads that have been mushroomed over, you need to grind off the tip in order to safely remove the valving from it. Now, a lot of tuners just end up reusing the stock compression post that's in my hand. However, once you do that, you're left with only a small amount of threads afterwards. Also, the compression post is made out of aluminum and it is hollow, so you're limited on the torque spec that you can torque that nut back down to. If you torque it down too much, you're going to shear off the post. We know this because we commonly sell the OEM replacement one, or we did commonly sell the OEM replacement one on our website, and we got a lot of sales of that very often from people working on their own suspension. So we decided here at Ride JBI, we're going to remake this component, and we'll spend the extra $1 in manufacturing costs and make it out of titanium instead of redoing it out of aluminum. Same exact reason goes for why we do our JBI titanium rebound post as well. When you work on these, again, when you remove the peening on the threads, you're left with very minimal threads afterwards to work with. So this ensures that when we do our valving mods on the insides, we can safely torque down the nut to a higher torque than what's stock. And if anybody wants to make future modifications to this fork in terms of the valving, they have some very clean componentry to work with. And then another reason why we made this is part of our JBI DIY kits. So meaning if you don't want to send your suspension to us at Ride JBI, we will create a custom curated valving spec just for you, and we're going to build it up in a way to where you can just install it on your own or have a local installer install it for you. So that saves you the downtime and shipping time from sending your suspension to us, but you can still get our JBI suspension technologies in your hands, and again, built to a custom spec just for you. We have details of that on our website, ridejbi.com. That's going to be in the category that says JBI DIY kits. So now that we've covered what we've done on the forks, let's talk about this shock that we have here. Now this shock is also a KYB shock, and it is very similar to what you'd see on the Yamaha YZ two-stroke models. The reason I say that is it has an 18mm shock shaft, just like the Yamaha YZ models, and it also features a 46mm piston. Now this is a little different because all of the Yamaha 4-strokes and pretty much every other bike that has KYB suspension on it normally has a 16mm shock shaft and a 50mm piston. I think it's really cool to see this configuration of the shock. One area that I'm not a big fan of the standard hardware is going to be the stock compression adjuster assembly that comes in it. That is going to be this one right here with the red high-speed adjuster. The reason I'm not a big fan of it is when we turn it around this way, you'll see that there's no spring on the inside. So when you adjust the high-speed mechanism here, you're not actually compressing the spring that assists the valving behind the compression adjuster. Instead, what happens is when you turn this one, this big red piece moves and it closes off the size of this port or transfer port for the oil. So it still acts as a high-speed adjustment, but it's not nearly as effective as this style of adjuster. This originally came on the 2009 Honda CRF 450 when it went to KYB suspension after being on Showa suspension from 2002 all the way up to 2008. And this is almost a precursor to the triple adjuster that is on some other bikes as well by KYB, because that triple adjuster does not have a high speed spring in it either. Instead, it works on the same concept of closing off the ports for the high-speed adjuster mechanism. One thing I've always taken notice to is what Yamaha does on their stock bikes. Now, for those that you did not know, Yamaha owns KYB, and Yamaha has never put their brand in a situation of not putting on the top componentry on their bikes. A good example of this is even though KYB came out with air forks, they never put air forks on any of their Yamaha models. Instead, they stuck with their tried and true KYB AOS or SSS twin chamber fork, twin chamber spring fork through all the years. Also, Yamaha never put the triple adjuster on any of their bikes. They recently came out with a new shock assembly and design for the 2026 model that now features an updated high compression adjuster assembly. And they did not go to the triple adjuster. Instead, they went to a bigger diameter compression adjuster assembly, and they maintained using the spring and preload mechanism that this style has. So just go to show you, this tends to be the more favorited and more effective adjuster of the different style of adjusters out there. At Ride JBI, when we revalve these shocks, we do it in two key areas. Of course, we're going to make modifications to the main piston that is mounted on the shock shaft. This was revalved to a matching flowy single track spec, so that way it is balanced with the front forks. And then of course we revalve the compression adjuster as well. What a lot of people don't realize is on the back side of these compression adjusters is another shim stack. That's this item here, and it presses into it as such. Now, if you go to modify the shim stack inside of here, a similar scenario with the front forks is that when you remove the peening or the staking on the threads in order to remove this nut, you're left with very minimal threads to work with during reassembly. So at Ride JBI, of course, what do? We made it out of titanium. So this is our JBI titanium compression piston. It comes complete with the spring plate. Our spring plate pushes farther up on the shims compared to the stock one that's in here. What that does is this makes this adjuster more effective than the spring plate that comes in there. That spring plate instead pushes on the shim farthest away from the piston. So while it does work, it's very ineffective compared to other styles. This oversimplify again, we can say this style of spring plate and where it pushes on the shim stack is very similar to what you'd find in a Showa shock. We did remake the compression adjuster piston as well. The reason we did that is there are different styles of this piston available. Certain shocks have big ports, other shocks have smaller ones. And of course, we also remade the high-speed adjuster piston as well, and we made that out of titanium too. So for those of you buying our DIY kits, this comes pre-assembled and pre-valve specific to you, so it makes installing and modifying this mechanism very easy. And the reason I talk about that is not a lot of tuners often revalve this part of the shock, and this part of the shock has a big influence over how the shock performs and operates. To not modify this would be similar to not revalving the base compression assembly inside of your fork. So at Ride JBI, there's going to be three key areas that this rider can expect his suspension to perform better. It's going to be smoother and more comfortable over the small bumps, roots, and rocks, and kind of trail trash that he's going to see while he's out riding. The bike's going to have better hold up when he's riding fast and aggressively, and it's going to have better bottoming resistance during those high impacts he's going to find out on the trail. We've been working with Sherco US for a few years now, exclusively with James Jordan. He is the distributor of Sherco. We've had a very good relationship working with them. It's been a pleasure helping out him, his top rider TJ Gold, who is the returning champion this year, and also his other rider, Lane Hyatt. And then on the international stage, also Hamish McDonald that rides for Sherco overseas. So if you got a Sherco and you want to get your own JBI spec suspension, please give us a call or send me an email. We can discuss the exact year, make, model Sherco that you have, what options are available, and depending on that, what would be most advantageous for you.